Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free news podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.
Wayfair is ready to make your holiday season even more joyful. Shop all things home for you and everyone on your gift list. With an incredible selection of furniture, decor, and more. All with an amazing value that'll make this holiday season the best one yet. And right now, Wayfair is turning up the savings even more with huge deals and sales. Plus, thousands of items ship fast and free. Head to Wayfair.com or download the Wayfair app in the App Store to shop the latest limited deals so you can deck it all.
In the last hour, 2 teenagers have been arrested in connection with the murder of a 16-year-old girl in Cheshire.
On the 11th of February 2023, the body of 16-year-old Brianna Ghey was found in a park in Cheshire, in England. 2 teenagers, too young to be identified, stand accused of her murder. Bringing you the evidence, witness statements and testimony from court. This is the trial. Brianna Ghey.
Liz, we're back in the rain at Manchester Crown Court again. We know this place really well from covering Lucy Letby trial for 10 months. We're back here today for another trial, a really, really sad case.
Yeah, this time, Caroline, we're covering a trial which involves the alleged murder of a young, vibrant 16-year-old girl called Brianna Ghey. Now, back in February, Brianna's body was found in a park in a place called Culcheth. Now, Culcheth is a pretty little village to the northeast of Warrington in Cheshire. Not much really ever happens in Culcheth, so people were really, really shocked that a teenage girl had been stabbed to death in broad daylight in what's usually a very quiet, small place.
Now, Brianna was transgender, and her death made headlines around the world. Because like most teenagers, she was really active on social media. She made loads of videos for TikTok, really engaging, funny videos on TikTok. And she had around 30,000 followers. So in fact, when she died, when this happened in February, many people far beyond her friends and her family were really impacted.
Yeah, and today is significant because 2 teenagers who were just 15 at the time, have gone on trial accused of Brianna's murder. The boy and the girl are now 16, but their identities are protected because they're so young. So for this reason, we can't name them. Instead, the media will be referring to them as Defendant X and Defendant Y.
So just a few hours ago, inside Court 2 in this building, a jury was sworn in, and Deanna here, KC, opened this case for the prosecution. We'll head back into the studio, Liz, and walk you through what happened in court today.
So we're back in the studio now, and we're going to bring you up to date on what's happened today in court. In this episode, we'll hear how Brianna was stabbed 28 times and was found face down in the mud by a couple walking their dogs.
We'll also hear that the 2 teenagers accused of her murder allegedly plotted to kill up to 5 people in the days before Brianna's death.
Girl X allegedly enjoyed watching torture videos on the dark web and hallucinating about killing someone.
And the court was told boy Y referred to Brianna as it, and told girl X he wanted to see if it screamed like a man or a girl.
Welcome to episode 1, The Alleged Murder Plot.
So after a short delay today, the trial finally got underway this afternoon, Liz, and Court 2 isn't a large court, so it's not that surprising. It was absolutely jam-packed in there today.
Yeah, the trial is being heard in Court 2, like you said, Caroline, at Manchester Crown Court, and it's a modern courtroom which was packed with barristers, lawyers, police officers, journalists, relatives of both the defendants, and of course Brianna's parents and other family members were also in court. And such is the press interest in this case that, as well as the reporters in the courtroom like myself, there is also a media annex in another court upstairs in the building, where around 40 other reporters are following proceedings on a video link.
Overseeing the case is High Court Judge Mrs Justice Yip. Now, her first task today was to get the jury sworn in. And as is usual for high-profile cases like this these days, 14 people are part of the initial jury selection. That's 2 extra jurors selected to listen to the prosecution opening as a precaution. What will happen then, Liz, is 2 of them will be discharged once Brianna Ghey, Casey, the lead prosecutor, has finished her opening address, and the usual 12 will begin listening to the evidence. So today, we should say a little bit about what the jury had heard after they were sworn in. And it started really with a little bit of information about the 2 child defendants. Now, we're going to call them Girl X and Boy Y.
Yeah, so the judge explained that both the defendants had differing degrees of special needs. So the judge explained to the jury that Boy Y has a diagnosis of autism and he suffers from high levels of social anxiety. Since the alleged murder, his verbal communication has been limited, which is part of his special needs, Mrs Justice Yip said. Girl X has also been assessed, and she's been found to have traits of autism as well, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, and she also has been displaying high levels of anxiety. And Mrs Justice Yip explained to the jury that the defendants might not be in court every single day of this trial. Instead, she said there may be some days when they would follow proceedings via a video link at the units where they're being looked after.
So the court also heard a little bit about Brianna. Now, they were told that she was transgender, and although she had been born a boy and she hadn't undergone any gender reassignment surgery at the time of her death, she was living as a girl and had changed her name to Brianna Ghey. Now, Liz, it was at about 3:15 this afternoon when Miss Ghey got to her feet and began outlining the prosecution case and explaining why she says the 2 young people in the dock are guilty of Brianna's murder. And we should say at the outset that a lot of what you're going to hear today is distressing.
So, Caroline, Miss Ghey began by saying that the first time anyone realised something was wrong was around 3 p.m. on Saturday, February 11th this year. That's when a couple called Catherine and Andrew Vise, who were out walking their dogs, discovered Brianna's blooded body face down in the mud in Linear Park in Culcheth. The jury was shown a picture of the park, which, as the name suggests, is a long, thin stretch of parkland, popular with dog walkers and cyclists, that used to house an old railway line.
Her words have been voiced by an actor.
At about 3 p.m. on Saturday the 11th of February 2023, Catherine Vise and her husband Andrew were out walking their dogs in Culcheth Linear Park near Warrington. It was a dry but dreary winter's day, and the park was fairly quiet. As they walked along, however, they saw on the path ahead of them 2 people, a male and a female. Mrs. Vise saw the male bend down as if to tend to a dog before both he and the female left the path and made their way into an adjacent field, breaking into a run as they did so. As they continued along the path, Mr. and Mrs. Vise discovered that it was not a dog that the male had been bending over, but the bloodied body of a young woman lying face down in the mud. The body was that of Brianna Ghey, a young transgender person who was born male but lived as a female. She had been stabbed 28 times, to the head and neck and to the back and chest.
Hi, Icons. It's Danny Pellegrino from the pop culture podcast Everything Iconic, and I love Nordstrom. No place better to shop, particularly during the holiday season, because they have everything. They have holiday decor at Nordstrom. They have cozy cardigans from Barefoot Dreams, my fave. They have cold weather attire, party attire, plus free shipping and free returns, free store pickup. You can also purchase a recycled fabric gift bag so your item arrives festive and wrapped. So check out Nordstrom this holiday season, a one-stop shop. You can explore more at Nordstrom in-store or online at Nordstrom.com.
Tired of ads interrupting your gripping investigations? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Ads shouldn't be the scariest thing about true crime. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free true crime to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.
Now, Miss Here told the jury that Brianna had been stabbed 28 times. She'd been stabbed in the head, in the neck, in her chest and in her back. One of the stab wounds severed 2 main blood vessels, and Miss Dear said Brianna suffered catastrophic blood loss, which in itself would have been enough to kill her.
Some of those wounds were 10 centimetres deep. Others caused damage to her bones, including to her sternum and to her ribs, and they would have required considerable force to inflict, she said. She also said there can be no doubt that she was the victim of a sustained and violent assault.
Miss Here told the court that it's not in dispute that girl X and boy Y were the 2 people seen running away from Brianna's body. Nor is it in dispute that in the days and weeks leading up to her death, the 2 defendants discussed killing her, or that the knife used was one that belonged to boy Y.
But both of them deny that they're guilty of the murder, because each says they did not take part in the stabbing of Brianna. Instead, they blame each other for the killing, Miss Here said. However, she explained that it's the Crown's case, that it doesn't matter who delivered the fatal blow to Brianna. Both are guilty because they acted together and planned to kill her.
The prosecution case is that whoever delivered the fatal blows, both defendants are equally guilty. Acting together, they planned and executed their plan to kill her.
So let's walk back a bit, Liz. Miss Here had outlined the day that Brianna was found, but she then told the jury a bit more about the relationship between the defendants and what she alleges happened in the run-up to that day.
Yeah, she told the jury that girl X and boy Y had known each other for around 4 years and were good friends. They discussed the usual innocent topics teenagers talk about, messaging each other about who they liked and relationships. But Miss Here said they also discussed and exchanged messages on more sinister topics.
The messages they exchanged show that they were preoccupied with violence, torture and death, and recalled them discussing how they wanted to kill people they knew. If that was not an unusual way for 2 teenagers to speak to one another, the messages demonstrate how over time they encouraged one another to think about how they could actually carry out a killing, and show how they planned together to kill Brianna in just the way she was in fact killed.
Miss Here told the court that in the months before the alleged murder, the pair swapped messages and talked about a list of 5 people, including Brianna, that they wanted to kill. In one message, girl X talked about having a really sharp blade, the same one that Sweeney Todd uses. Now that, of course, is a reference to the fictional Victorian demon barber of Fleet Street. Girl X also talked about keeping body parts as souvenirs, the jury was told. Her message has been voiced by an actor.
If I do end up killing M, I have a really sharp blade, the same one that Sweeney Todd uses. If we kill M, can I keep some things, a couple of teeth and an eye? I don't know how I would cut eye out though, and get teeth out, and torture before killing.
The court was told that girl X Googled serial killer facts and spoke about how she had hallucinations that she was covered in the blood of a boy called Layden, how she'd heard him scream or choke on his own blood, and how she'd seen herself smiling and holding a knife.
On the 5th of December 2022, X sent Y a video which referred to killing and torture, apparently an advert for an underground site for people who like rape, snuff, torture and murder. Indeed, when X's telephone was examined following her arrest, it was found to have on it an app called the Tor browser, which allowed her access to the dark web.
In WhatsApp messages, girl X allegedly told boy Y,
I love watching torture vids, real ones on the dark web. I've liked this stuff for a while. I'm just happy because I finally found a good red room.
Miss Here also said that the pair discussed torturing and methods of killing people, including using poisons such as potassium cyanide, sarin or ricin. Boy X also searched for nerve agents online. And around this time, girl X allegedly told boy Y that she developed an obsession with a trans girl called Brianna, She said she found her fascinating because she was really different, the prosecutor said.
In a message that she sent to Boy Y, she allegedly said, "I'm obsessed over someone I know, but don't have feelings for them. She's called Brianna. I don't know how to explain. Also, she has a dick, lol."
Boy Y responded, "Is it a femboy or a tranny?"
But a month later, Miss Heer said, the fascination had turned darker, and the court heard Girl X made the first attempt to kill Brianna by giving her an overdose of painkillers. She told the jury on January the 18th this year, Girl X sent Boy Y some pictures of a pair of bloodied scissors and a bloodied tissue, saying that she was going to eat human flesh.
5 days later, she sent him a photograph of some red ibuprofen gel tablets, which she claimed she'd given to Brianna. But Miss Heer said Girl X said Brianna had thrown up, but she didn't die. Miss Heer said Brianna's mother, Esther Jai, remembered her daughter feeling sick around this time. She said she remembered Brianna being in real pain, and she thought she was going to die, Miss Heer said. Brianna's mother thought it might be appendicitis. Around the same time, the court heard, Girl X also messaged Boy Y to say she'd also killed 2 other people. Miss Heer said there was no evidence to show she'd actually done this, and it was simply something she'd invented to impress him.
Boy Y allegedly approved because he messaged how fun. And over the next 3 days, the defendants discussed killing 5 different people, including a child known as Boy E, Miss Heer said. She said Brianna was the backup plan.
By the 26th of January 2023, the defendants had compiled a list of 4 people they wanted to kill in addition to Brianna. X suggested that they should kill E this Saturday at 1 p.m, because he was the easiest. Y suggested they could build a noose to make it look like he had killed himself. X responded, "Nah, just stab him. Slit his throat and stab his back." Y responded, "Could I stab him?" X said, "Sure. I know a hidden spot nobody goes to in Linear Park. You manage to get him out and we meet up at the wooden posts in Linear, then be like, let's sit and chill somewhere. We walk to the spot, you restrain him and slit his throat and stab him, and then I'll help."
The court heard that Girl X then told Boy Y that if they couldn't kill Boy E, they would kill Brianna instead. Miss Heer said Boy Y agreed and messaged Girl X back, referring to Brianna as it rather than her correct pronoun. He said, "Yeah, it'll be easier, and I want to see if it will scream like a man or a girl."
Over the next few days, the defendants allegedly continued to talk about how to kill Brianna. On Monday, the 30th of January, Girl X suggested she could give Brianna an overdose of cocaine, but then said, "Let's just stab her. It's more fun." Boy Y then replied, "OK."
So that's where Miss Heer got up to today, Caroline. She's going to continue with her opening speech tomorrow before the first witnesses are called in the case.
We'll be back tomorrow to bring you all that, and again on Friday with another episode.
In the meantime, you can follow us on X at The Trial Podcast or contact us at thetrial@mailmetromedia.co.uk.
You can leave a comment on Spotify or even send us a voice note on WhatsApp on 04477 966 575 12. Start your message with the word trial.
See you then.
Hi, Icons. It's Danny Pellegrino from the pop culture podcast Everything Iconic, and I love Nordstrom. No place better to shop, particularly during the holiday season, because they have everything. They have holiday decor at Nordstrom. They have cozy cardigans from Barefoot Dreams, my fave. They have cold weather attire, party attire, plus free shipping and free returns, free store pickup. You can also purchase a recycled fabric gift bag so your item arrives festive and wrapped. So check out Nordstrom this holiday season, a one-stop shop. You can explore more at Nordstrom in-store or online at Nordstrom.com.
Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free news podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.
Since 2016, The Crown has captivated audiences around the world, telling the story of the royal family. But what's the real story, and where have Netflix used artistic licence? I'm Natasha Livingston, the royal correspondent for the Mail on Sunday.
And I'm Robert Hardman, Mail columnist and royal biographer. And this is The Crown, Fact or Fiction.
We're going to take you through all the best moments from Series 6 of The Crown.
We'll be taking a look at the show, and we'll be explaining what really happened, telling you about the stories behind the scenes, the ones they don't show you. Follow The Crown, Fact or Fiction, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is going to be the biggest thing that any of us has ever seen.